Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of In the Kitchen. This week we're going to be making a classic that probably everybody has had at one point or another, the donut.
The ingredients that we'll be using today will be
2 eggs, 27.5 grams or 2 tablespoons of butter, 85 grams or 2/3 cup sugar, 3 grams or 1/6 of a teaspoon of salt,
2 packets of active dry yeast,
470 grams or 3 2/3 cups flour, 27.5 grams or 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 9.4 ounces or 1 cup and 3 tablespoons of milk. This recipe comes from chefsteps.com. It was actually a pretty tricky recipe. All of the ingredients were listed in metric. So I did go through and make all of the conversions and I've added that to the description. But it does look like a great recipe. And so we'll find out together whether or not my math is correct. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're gonna take a mixing bowl and we're gonna go ahead and sift our dry ingredients minus the yeast into the bowl here. Okay, so now that we have all of our ingredients sifted and in the bowl, we're going to take a whisk and whisk it up real nice here. Okay, so it looks like our ingredients got very nicely combined here, so we can go ahead and set this to the side. Our next step is going to be combining our wet ingredients plus the butter on the stove at a very low heat so we can slowly bring it up to about 100 degrees. Once it reaches that 100 degrees, we can take it off the heat and pour it into the mixer here. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I've got this mixture here all done, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the mixer here. It's key that you keep it, that it doesn't get above 110 degrees. So it was about 100 degrees when I did it, so it looks like it's good. So I'm going to let it, I'm going to go ahead and mix now the yeast in. Alright, so the yeast is mixed up here with our wet ingredients that we heated up. So we're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes and then we're going to add our dry ingredients in and start mixing. Alright, so we've let our yeast rest here a little bit. Looks like there's some nice bubbles forming on the top there, which is really great. So we're going to go ahead and add in our dry mixture here. Alright, wonderful. And then we're just going to start giving it real slow mixes. And so it's really starting to get combined here, so we're gonna speed it up, and it's gonna mix for about 20 minutes or so, and then we can check on it. It should be all a nice tight ball by that point. All right, so it looks pretty great here. It's very tacky to where it's not sticking to the bowl or anything anymore, where it's actually pulled off any dough or any residue on the bowl there. It's pulled off into the dough. So what I'm gonna do is gonna spray my hands with cooking oil. So that way it doesn't stick to my hands. I've already sprayed a bowl here with cooking spray as well. We're gonna take it out of the mixer here, and then we're gonna let it sit in the refrigerator for about an hour to let it rise. Yep, so it's a nice ball here. The spray works great with not allowing it to get stuck to your fingers. So we'll go ahead and set it. All right, so it does look really nice here. So what I'm gonna do is spray the top of the dough and then put a piece of plastic wrap over top, and then I'm gonna let it sit in the refrigerator for about an hour, and it should rise up here about a double in size or so. Okay, so the dough has been rising about an hour, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh wow. Yeah, so it definitely has risen to about double the size here. And it didn't stick at all, so that's great. So what we're gonna do is sprinkle a little bit of flour on the top. And then we're gonna punch it down. And see how all the air escapes. Alright, then we're going to just directly remove it to our little table here, countertop I guess. Then sprinkle a little bit more flour on top. Then we're going to take a rolling pin, and we want it to be about a ½ inch thick. Okay, so I think that looks about a ½ inch thick or so. So now they called for a 3-inch cookie cutter, round one. I don't really have that, so I'm gonna try and use this cup. Not really sure if it's sharp enough, but we will give it a try. So we want to dump it in the flour here, and I'm gonna go through and lightly push on it just to see if I can't just see how many donuts that it would make here without having to ruin anything. Alright, so now I've got the donuts pretty much punched out here. I'm going to go ahead and use this pretty sweet Pokemon cup that I have here, and I'm going to punch out the centers. I'm going to push them out a little bit more so they're not such small ringed donuts. But, you know, doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and transfer them to a cookie sheet that I have. I went ahead and put parchment paper on it and greased it. So we'll set them on here for us. All right, so they look okay, I guess. So what we're gonna do now is spray the tops here, and then I'm gonna put another piece of plastic wrap over the top, and then we're gonna let them sit and rest for about another hour. Okay, so actually what I went ahead and did is I took another pan and did the same thing, put a piece of parchment paper, sprayed it, and I put the donut holes there as well because they look a little bit nicer. But while we wait for them all to rise here, I thought we would go ahead and do the frosting. Or the glaze, I guess is what it is, but it's basically a frosting. So we're going to go ahead and add our powdered sugar here. And then we're going to add our milk. And we'll put it on a real slow mix here. So it has a real nice consistency now, it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I want to kind of make the pink frosting that you used to see in donut shops and things. So I'm going to add just a little bit of red. You want to make sure that you use gel food coloring. The liquid food coloring just doesn't really work that well. Alright, good deal. Yeah, it looks really good. So we will just let it hang out here for a little bit while we let our dough continue to rise for us. Alright, well, it looks like that our donuts here have risen pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and take this wrap off here for us. Good deal. Yeah, so we've got our donuts here and our donut holes. So the next thing that we're going to do is I've got the oil already heated up to about 350, and I'm going to go ahead and drop some in, and we'll see what happens. So they're looking pretty good here, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the rest of them there and go ahead and drop them all in, and we'll see how they all look. Alright, and now the last step is really just to dress it up to make it look more like a store-bought donut. Get some of this fancy pink glaze on here. I'm going to give it a little mix. So we're going to just start here. I'm just going to dip. I'll try a donut hole first. I'm just gonna kind of drop it in here and then I'll grab it out. Got these in just in case I may need them. There we go, not looking too bad. Yeah, I think they look pretty good. While these ones are wet, go ahead and got some leftover Valentine sprinkles that kind of match. Nice. Yeah, I think they turned out pretty well. But I'm going to go ahead and keep frosting them here and then give them a taste. With the glaze as well, there's recipes for, which is basically the same as the one that I've done now, is you cut out a little bit of the powdered sugar and then you put in instead a little bit of cocoa if you'd like, some chocolate glaze. You can also do maple, which I bet that's really good as well, but I just did the plain with some pink. All right, well, I think they turned out really well for, especially never having made donuts like that. I've never even really made bread before, to be honest. So anything that's able to rise, that's such a gentle thing like that, I think I did a great job. The glaze is really thin. I wasn't really expecting that. But really the biggest thing that I would change, I think, is that instead of using cups, I would try and get actual round cookie cutters to make them look a little bit more even so you don't have things like that. But I'm pretty impressed with them. So I'll go ahead and give one a try here and try one of these donut holes. But they look great. Yeah, they're very nice. Definitely cooked long enough. Super airy. You can see the little air pockets all inside there from the yeast doing its job. You know, you could definitely make them too dense if the yeast isn't working properly, but I think they turned out super well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful day.